Aleksei Oleinik versus Maurice Greene takes place on the main card of UFC 246. McGregor versus Cerrone next weekend. I can't wait for this fight. Should it be on the main card of a pay-per-view? Should Maurice Greene belong ever on the main card of a pay-per-view? Probably not. But I'm not too mad. It's a decent fight. I'm looking forward to it. I'm picking Maurice Greene to win by first round TKO. I think there's a trend in Aleksei Oleinik's career recently of being knocked out in comical fashion. He did it in his last fight against Walt Harris, just 12 seconds into the bout, and then Alistair Overeem not long before that. That's 2 KOs within a 2-month span for Aleksei Oleinik. I'll be honest with you guys. And I'm not liking the way that looks. 3-month span, gets KO'd by Alistair Overeem brutally, gets KO'd by Walt Harris brutally. Now he's back again. 42 years of age. I know Maurice Greene isn't exactly a young buck, but 33 for a heavyweight is basically like 2 years old for a flyweight. You know what I'm saying? Like the ages change completely. 42 years of age. Not the biggest guy at heavyweight. Now he's got 7 KO losses on his record. You know, I just don't like his odds against a big, tall guy like Maurice Greene who's able to stay on his feet quite well. Very strong guy for the heavyweight division. I feel like he's going to go out there and just... I'm betting on Maurice Greene just dinking him on the chin once and putting him out of there. Because Aleksei Oleinik, I feel like he's coming to the end of his career. He's been KO'd so many times now. I mean, if you look at some of Aleksei Oleinik's wins, I mean, you could argue that he came into the UFC at a very good time. But he comes in to the UFC, beats Anthony Hamilton. Okay. Beats Jared Rosholt. You know? Yeah, okay. Decent win. Loses to Daniel Emelianchuk. Beats Victor Pesta. Who? I feel like I'm going to turn into Kamaru Usman reading through this guy's fucking resume. Travis Brown, decent win. Was Travis Brown perhaps at the end of his career? Yes. Loses to Curtis Blades in the second round by doctor stoppage. No hard feelings, it's Curtis Blades. He's a fucking beast, so fair enough. Beats Junior Albini by a Ezekiel choke in the first round. Is Junior Albini a world beater? Nope. Does Junior Albini get you ranked in a division? Probably not. I'll be honest with you guys. Then he beats Mark Hunt. Was Mark Hunt maybe coming to the end of his career? Yes. You know? And I know Maurice Greene's wins aren't so much better. But he's beaten some guys. He's got a decent record. He's young in the game. He's improving every single time. Yes, he's coming off a KO loss himself to Sergey Pavlovich. But, I mean, there's a big difference between having your first KO loss and then having 7 of them in a row. Not 7 of them in a row. 7 of them within your entire career. And you're on 2 KO losses in a row. Very different levels of chin, I'm noticing. And to be honest with you, Sergey Pavlovich is a beast. Only lost to Alistair Overeem in his entire career, which, and if you ask me, I mean, join the fucking club. I mean, losing to Alistair Overeem should never be seen as something that's terrible, ever, because he's amazing. 14-1, Sergey Pavlovich, there's no harm in losing to a guy like this. You know, since losing to Alistair Overeem, he KO'd Marcelo Golm, then KO'd Maurice Greene in the first round. I mean, he's a beast, an absolute beast, so I don't blame Maurice Greene for losing to a guy like that, to be honest with you. I feel like Maurice Greene's going to get in there and dink him up real nice. I was surprised by the lack of a reach advantage for Maurice Greene. As a guy who is 6'7", I was expecting him to bring some more to the table in terms of reach. It's either that or Aleksei Oleinik has weird fucking orangutan arms going on, because, Jesus Christ, that man has a massive reach compared to Maurice Greene. Maurice Greene still has an advantage, but not as nearly as much as I was hoping for. I'm still going to pick Maurice Greene. I think he's going to bounce back after the first loss in the UFC that he's had. Since before that, he was on a 3-fight win streak, beating a lot of guys. Beat Junior Albini by TKO in the first round, very impressively. I could see Maurice Greene getting the job done. Hard to submit a guy that big. 6'7". It's going to be a real tricky job for Oleinik, and I think he's going to have to wade through some fire to get his hands on Maurice Greene. In that space, I feel like the guy who's coming off 2 KOs in a row and 7 overall in his career, and not to mention the fucking how many fights that he's had, 57 plus 13, 70 fights. Jesus fucking Christ, you're 42, get a grip of yourself. Maurice Greene's going to lay him out cold. And it's a dangerous pick. Okay, I'm assuming Maurice Greene is going to be a heavy underdog here. But I'm picking Maurice Greene. Wait, Aleksei Oleinik trains at Oleinik team. What the fuck? How have I only just learning about this? Oleinik team. Who the fuck is Oleinik name? Fighter results list. The only fighter they could find that is in Oleinik team is Aleksei Oleinik. Does this guy just fucking train himself? What's going on? I've never heard of Oleinik team before. As a team? Strange. Strange to me. Either way, Maurice Greene's a big, tall, rangy black guy. Great power, somewhat, as he showed in this fight against Junior Albini. But then again, it doesn't take much to KO Junior Albini, let's be honest. But I think he's going to get the job done. I really do. I think Aleksei Oleinik's going to go to sleep, and this may be the end of Aleksei Oleinik's career. Sucks for Sergey Pavlovich. I'll bring him up again because it really does suck for Sergey Pavlovich. He beats Maurice Greene, a guy who's on a 3-0 streak in the UFC. Sergey Pavlovich comes through, 1-1 in the promotion, decimates Maurice Greene in the first round in a very impressive performance. Maurice Greene gets a ranked opponent in his next fight. Sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles, you know? Feels bad for Sergey Pavlovich. Hopefully he gets his shine soon. Hopefully he gets a shot against a better ranked opponent. Here is hope. Maybe he gets the winner of this one. If it's Aleksei Oleinik. Maybe if Aleksei Oleinik wins, we can do a Sergey Pavlovich, Aleksei Oleinik fight in Russia. Seeing as they're both Russian. That would make some level of sense. But I'm going to bet on Maurice Greene chinning him in the first round. Great position for Maurice Greene to be in, honestly. I mean, probably doesn't deserve this whatsoever. I honestly think that Andre Fili versus Sadiq Yusuff is a much better candidate to be on the main card, but they're heavyweights. Oleinik is ranked. I understand why they're on the main card, because Oleinik is a decently big name in the sport, and he's very ranked. Maurice Greene is somewhat marketable, except for that lazy eye, of course, but I feel like he's going to get the job done, and maybe get a bit of the McGregor rub, depending on how well he actually gets the finish. Here's hoping that we get a new big thing in the heavyweight division, because if he chins Aleksei Oleinik, now we're talking fun matchups. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Click that button there. Hold on. Does Sergey Pavlovich miss out? Because I don't think he does. If I'm looking at the heavyweight rankings right now and I'm Sergey Pavlovich, I'm saying, hey, thank you, Maurice Greene, for taking on Aleksei Oleinik. Because if Maurice Greene beats Aleksei Oleinik, Oleinik is at 12. He's going to move down because he lost to an unranked fighter. He's probably going to fall out of the rankings, or maybe go to the number 15. Sergey Pavlovich is number 14. By default, we may see Sergey Pavlovich climb 2 spaces in the rankings because he has a win over Maurice Greene. So he should be happy. Round of applause for Sergey Pavlovich. We're not down in the dumps anymore. Congratulations. You're about to move 2 spaces up the rankings if Maurice Greene gets his own way. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. Click that button there. It's about there, actually. See you later.